Welcome back to Tao Twang. I'm Dave. This is a celebration of the third, okay? And when we say third, we mean the third in the chord, also the third in some type of scale with respect to each chord that we're using in this progression. But just think of it as that root third and fifth, the triad of the chord, okay? And we've got three chords here. It's G, F, C. All right. And I've got all this tabbed out. There's not a lot this time. It's two times around there. Um, and exactly what I played in the intro. All right. And I'm going to put up, excerpts of it here in just a second. We're going to go through it. But in the description section of this video, there'll be a PDF with all that tab there. Okay. Um, Along with some information about some other stuff that Dao Twang is doing, namely the open mic page. It's called Dao Twang Open Mic on Facebook. Now, this is not me, more of me playing in lessons. It's you. Okay. I put backing tracks up there that people can use, or they can make their own, or you can just play a solo or whatever you want to do on there. Everybody's doing different stuff, and it's really cool. So check that out. It's a private group. So put your request in, and we usually approve them pretty quickly. And then Patreon, of course. We're about going on our third month, I guess, of Patreon, and it's going well. We're adding a few folks each week. If you enjoy this channel and you want to support us, then we would really, really appreciate it. $5 a month, and you can pledge whatever you want, but just five is the minimum, to the only tier of support that we have there. It's the all you have to pledge to get access. And each week there's an early release, ad-free lesson on there, very much like the ones you see on this channel. So let's jump right in there and get after these thirds. So here was my thinking, whether it's single note stuff or comping chords, the third is important and it sounds cool, and there's so many different ways you can use it. So in this real short piece, which is musical, but it's really an exercise, I tried to feature several different ways that we can exploit that. So the first one is for the G, I did kind of a single note lick. Okay. Now, here's our triad. Right? There's triads all over the place, but that's kind of a nice solid one right for that location and that chord. So root third, fifth. Our third is that B right there. And what we're doing is you could slide or hammer. On the tab, looks like I put a hammer there. So we're going to hammer from one under. We come back down, we do that hammer again. So we get a little direction change there that sounds cool. All right. Real slow. Now our next chord is F. And so I did this kind of the same idea. I came in from one under the third. Now this form of F, but I'm really just kind of focusing on these three strings. All right. So this time our third is actually down here. The note's A. Okay. So I roll in from one below. And this time I'm just doing kind of a chord comping thing. Right? And then the same idea for the C, except I come from 2 frets under and hammer it. Like you can hit that note again, or you can just kind of ghost you know that. When you slow it down, it kinda takes away some of the rhythmic vibe of it, but I just wanna show you, um, and, you know, I differentiated that, you know, 1 fret under, 2 fret, because they both work. Now, in this case of the C, it really is it's a, you know, a scale tone. 1, 2, 3, right? So I'm hammering from the 2nd, you know, to the 3rd. So that first pass is okay, on to the next pass. So this time we're working out of the shape and location of this G. Okay, sort of like we did the F, you know, a few moments ago, moving it up to G. And I'm working in the higher register to start this lick. Instead of hammering or sliding into the 3rd from below it, this time I start right on the 3rd and do an embellishment right above it. Just a 1 fret. And then that little triad. Okay, then that's our hammering in from 1 under the 3rd, right? Okay. And finish it off with kind of a pentatonic sounding lick there, right? So this, I like the way this lick feels. You know, some licks moves just feel good in your hand. I like that one. And then we've got a couple of different shapes and locations for the F and the C this time. Right? Now we discussed that one in terms of the C. We used it down here, right? The first time around. Now we just got the same deal moved up to F. Then we've got a okay. Now that one, all I'm doing is hitting that chord, that C bar chord, with my finger lifted off of the 3rd, that E right there, and then hammering it. That's a nice chunky sounding one. Sounds kind of simple, you know, but ironically, you might have to, you know, practice that one more. It sounds so simple, but you know, there's more strings, and you're covering a bunch of, you know, notes there. What I like to do is take my pinky out of that arrangement and just let it. I just don't even worry about that string. It's just another root that we don't need. It kind of just sounds easier to control, and it sounds cooler without it. So that's why that X is there on the D string. Okay, so that second time around is. All right. Set your rig up with if it's a metronome or a drum machine or whatever, something that you can change the tempo of, and you know, work on getting it up to different speeds and stuff. But start off, just don't even worry about that. Just go off to the side, work through the tab. But you want to get it, you know, locked into some kind of beat or something, so you can really have some fun with it, and that's good training as well. Let me know how this goes. I appreciate all of you. Talk to you next time.